I put a knife to her throat, and I told her that if she didn't kiss me, I was going to slice her throat.
MundaneMatt, beta male.
MundaneMatt agrees with Rotten Tomatoes' decision to get rid of the audience want to see rating for some pretty warped reasons, though it's very understandable as he is a massive shill and his end goal in life is to become one of these social justice critics that we all hate so very much. So I've got another video coming up on him after this as, holy shit, Matt, you just keep stepping in it, bud. What are you doing? Oh, I don't want to get into any controversy. Then you put out this and the video where you shield for Cortez. Just fantastic. Let's jump into the video, shall we?
A lot of people are losing their mind over this. They're up. We need to make an alternative to Rotten Tomatoes. We need to make an alternative, and they're getting their torches and they're getting their pitchforks. See, I'm of a different mindset here. For one, I don't pre-release. Who cares? Who cares? Pre-release, who gives a shit?
It's like MundaneMatt can't help but shield for these companies. What a retarded statement to say. We have found key information in terms of different games, movies, television shows that helps us as the consumer decide whether we want to spend money to purchase the product. For example, Ghostbusters 2016, the trailers showed that movie was going to be an absolute train wreck. Guess what? It was. Saved a lot of us money. So this whole statement, oh, who cares about pre-release? Well, without pre-release information, Matt, we wouldn't know that Brie Larson is just a massive anti-white male shill that just, doesn't want our money. And that's fantastic. I'm very happy to oblige her by not wasting my hard-earned cash going to see a terrible movie. Are you anti-consumer now, Matt? Is that what you're saying here, bud?
I don't care. Look, it's been weaponized and not just by trolls. It's been weaponized by the media. This is a two-pronged problem that absolutely positively needs to be addressed. And I think Rotten Tomatoes is actually doing the right move here. I do.
Who is Monday Mail again?
See, Matt's feeding into the narrative that Captain Marvel has just been inundated with troll comments. It's ridiculous. I went through most of the comments, didn't see a single one that I'd classify as a troll. Even the ones that the articles slandering us are using say stuff like, oh, I don't want to spend money to go see another social justice warrior film. This movie's gonna flop. Shit like that. Like, there's basically no trolls. I'm not saying there's absolutely none, but there's basically none. And the critics are going to slander us no matter what, mate. They're going to say we're anti people of color, we hate women. So at least these type of outlets give us a chance to fight back. But you're stoked that now we have one less outlet that we can actually express our opinion. God, I know you want to be a film critic, but holy shit, can you try and not shield for them so much, mate?
You may disagree, but let me just kind of break it down for you like this. Okay, go back about 8 months. All right, go back about 8 months, 7, 8 months, or 8, 9 months, somewhere in there, and you had Solo coming out, right? Star Wars Solo story, Solo, a Star Wars story coming out, and they had the audience score is about 45%. So a YouTuber goes out there, makes a video, and he says like, "Look at this, nobody wants to see the movie, 44%." And
MundaneMatt, beta male.
Thanks, Jesse. Love your work, man.
All right. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Amazing. And so many betas. I never thought I would see so many men be such beta males.
Of course he's gonna start shilling for Solo. Dude, it would be hard to parody you at this point, man. Of course you're gonna start shilling for Solo. Guess what? Solo didn't do that well. It has the Star Wars brand behind it, and it didn't do that well, man. And Matt's going to do a bit of math now, and his comment section destroys him on it. Because Matt, he's not the smartest individual. I'll just let him explain this, and then I'll let the comment destroy it.
he makes this big, hyperbolic, bloviated claim that it's not that's not based in reality. Because if you look, there's a number for how many people have voted. to get that 44%. It was like 12,000 people. Well, just doing the general math, and I'm just going to run you through this. There's roughly 4,000 screens that a movie like Solo would be playing on when it first launches. Then you've got about 100 seats per auditorium on an average basis. Well, you multiply 100 by 4,000, you get 1.2 million. That is one screening. There are 5 screenings per day. So the math is about 6 million total screenings, or total potential customers per screening or per movie per day.
The comment I was telling you about, laugh my ass off, you should delve a bit into statistics. IIRC, a representative sample of around 1,000 is enough to provide a reliable reflection of whatever in a population of millions, Matt. You know, this is sort of how statistics are done. Yes, you can't use it as definitive proof that a movie is not going to do well, but hey, it's a pretty freaking good indication. As I'm guessing the audience 1-2C score of Ghostbusters 2016 wasn't very high. And how did Solo and Ghostbusters do again? I know Ghostbusters did worse than Solo, but they didn't do that well, did they, mate? You know, the critics were insanely wrong, like, basically, they're always insanely wrong. Look at Alita for another example. They shit all over it, and I've had so many comments saying, go see Alita, which I'm going to do on March the 7th, it's when it comes out in Australia, instead of going to see this fucking movie. But for the average moviegoer, you know, that audience want to see score, people that have no idea what's going on in terms of this controversy, they'll see that and go, why do most of the audience think this movie looks like shit? Then they'll actually read into it and, you know, they won't be supporting a massive racist and sexist that doesn't want our money and doesn't want our opinion. And once again, I'm very happy to oblige Brie Larson in that fact.
At that metric, right? And that's an average, that's not specific, it's just an average. 12,000 of just one screening is 1%. It's 1%. 1% doesn't equate to shit. It doesn't equate to a goddamn thing. So it's a false narrative to run on that particular metric.
Look up how statistics work and then get back to me, bud. No one's saying that's exactly how the movie's going to turn out, but it gives you a pretty fair indicator on how the audience is receiving the movie or how they think it's going to be. And that really does then equate to how many people are going to spend money to see a film.
It is. It's a false narrative. It doesn't exist. Now, that happened with that YouTuber and talking about Solo. Then you've got the situation involving Black Panther and Infinity War and Star Wars Episode 8 and Solo, and people trying to quote-unquote review bomb these movies. They're not review bombing anything because the audience, the want-to-see score is not the audience score, not even a review.
Hey, Matt actually got something right in this video. Good job, bud. But that just goes to show you how dishonest the critics are. So maybe we should give an outlet for people that are going to see it that aren't critics to express their view on how the film's going to be. Didn't Rotten Tomatoes have something like that? Oh, yeah, of course they did. And you're saying now that that was a fantastic idea for Rotten Tomatoes to get rid of that. You stupid shill.
But the media comes out and the media says, oh, they're trying to just downvote it. They're trying to tank the review score. And it's not accurate. They know that it's not accurate. So basically what it is, you have a troll group that in some cases with like the Black Panther and Infinity War situation, this guy claimed to be like an alt-right member doing this, trying to organize this group of a few hundred people, claiming he had bots and everything else and it was all working on his behalf. But I think he just bolstered it up for attention. So then he runs this narrative where he's got, you know, trying to tank this want to see score. The media comes in, calls him alt-right, calls it review bombing or trying to attack the movie. Then that generates headlines, it generates buzz, it gets people talking about it. It gets Rotten Tomatoes to get a whole bunch of free press.
It's official black. I'm the gay dirt diggler, pussy boy, aka the turd tickler. I'm 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 the turd tickler.
Okay, Matt, let's just say there was an alt-right troll with 200 people and a bunch of bots trying to sink Black Panther. It was about 76% 1-2C score. You know, Captain Marvel, before they got rid of it, was at 26%. So maybe that sort of goes to show you that that alt-right troll didn't do shit. And I haven't seen anyone come out and say, oh, I'm going to troll this into the ground. Nothing. And still, my last video, they're still calling people that don't like this movie alt-right, Trump supporting, which I support Trump, but he's not alt-right, like racist sexists. even after Rotten Tomatoes get rid of the audience score. So maybe, once again, we should give the audience a chance to express their own opinion about what they think the movie's going to be like, instead of shilling for a website and a company that doesn't give a shit about us. As I'm sorry, Matt, but you're white and male, so I know you want to be a critic in the future, but that's just, if Brie Larson's anything to do with it, you're never going to get a job because of your skin color and sex. This is just complete stupidity. The critics are going to lie regardless. If you had everyone saying it's going to be amazing, they would make up someone saying it's not, so they can cover that. It's just, I can't believe you think this is a good idea.
Because they do. They get a whole bunch of free press while they know exactly what they've said here, that the want to see percentage score is oftentimes confused with the audience score. They waited over a year to say that, by the way. Over a year they waited to say this. So they're not innocent in this. They have collected the hits, they've collected the attention, they've loved it, they've lavished in it. But this time around with Captain Marvel, it was a bigger issue. It got bigger, blew up. Everyone's like, oh, again, false narratives, false information, outright lying in some cases. This is exactly what happened.
Yes, mate, so we should have more avenues to express our opinions, not less. I don't think really anyone with half a brain thinks that people in the media, professional critics, are ever going to tell the truth. So getting rid of one of the only avenues in which the audience can actually express their opinion is just a really, really dumb idea. Yet you're shilling for Rotten Tomatoes, and which is then obviously shilling for Captain Marvel and Disney and Marvel. It's just pure stupidity. Do you hate consumers, Matt? Do you secretly hate the audience because you're downvoted all the time? Well, maybe you wouldn't be downvoted so much if you didn't do piece of shit videos like this, and even worse, shilling for Cortez when she says, oh, I don't think Western people should have babies. You know what? It's just not a moral decision that we should be making. Which, anyway, that's going to be in another video because I can rant on and on about that, because that actually was worse than this video, Matt. But hey, you're a fucking moron, so let's continue.
And so now they finally decided to act on it once it started happening to Star Wars Episode 9. So as we look, you can disagree on this one all you want. That's perfectly fine. You were still able to have your conversation about whether or not you want to see Captain Marvel or other movies anywhere. They're just doing this on this privately owned website. They're trying to make it so it doesn't get manipulated before the movie itself comes out. They want the movies to rest on their own particular laurels.
Oh yeah, because everyone that's in the audience, we have platforms like the people in the mainstream media. Oh no, wait, we don't? So this was one of the great ways in which the audience could express their opinion and, get it out to, say, the general moviegoer that doesn't really follow any of this? And thus it just gives the media one less platform to compete with. Plus, they changed it to just want to see, as in, and then it's like liked, like people that want to see it, and there's just a score. So it's shilling even more. And also, the critics are now virtue signaling to people at IMDb, Facebook, those type of websites to do the same. What happens if all these websites started doing this, Matt? What? Then it's just going to be regulated to YouTube? Which, what happens if YouTube starts censoring it as well, bud? Do you see the problem here? I thought you were an advocate for free speech. And yes, this isn't completely free speech in terms of the government is doing anything, but the idea of free speech should be across the board. But no, fuck the audience, right?
Is this going to stop trolls from attacking a movie beforehand? No, of course not. Not at all. It's going to keep them going. It's going to keep it rocking 100%. They're going to, as soon as that audience score hits, it's going to get hit. Bam. Point. It's just going to happen. But in the meantime, this actually removes the ammunition that trolls can use to try to fake audience bomb a movie.
Faggot Bruce Cole slaying the beast, looking for me. Yeah, you know a boy gotta eat. I'm a wolf, motherfucker, and I see you frightened. Faggot Bruce, motherfucker, rise up the lichen. My gang is legendary throughout the Golden State. Whether you thug or fairy, Bruce gon' penetrate. Clocking cheese, robbing drug dealers blind. No gang affiliation, just one man on the grind.
There are basically no trolls, you shill. This is a media talking point that they haven't proven once in terms of this movie. And in terms of Black Panther, the trolls didn't really seem to be able to do anything. So You know, what changes from them not being able to do anything in Black Panther? Because, you know, some of the marketing for Black Panther was quite racist. It was not to the extremes of Captain Marvel now. But, you know, 76%, 26%. How did the trolls suddenly get so good? It's just, you're just using these trolls as an excuse to shill, basically. And let's say the trolls are like, what, 1%, 0.5%? You do realize there's 99 or 99.5% of people that just have valid opinions, man. And now they don't get to express it because Rotten Tomatoes is shilling for Captain Marvel.
To create a false narrative like we saw with Solo. And then we can also then see the media can't spin it into a victim-based narrative where sexist, bigoted men are trying to tank down this movie starring a female, which is what they were doing with Captain Marvel.
Mate, they're going to do that anyway. And they did it over really dumb comments. Like, this movie is going to flop. They literally used that comment exactly as an example of, you know, bigoted, sexist, white men. They're going to do that regardless of if Rotten Tomatoes get rid of the audience want to see or not. So it doesn't stop them whatsoever. It actually just harms us. It's just, I know I'm getting pissed off, but he just keeps repeating himself. Forces me to keep repeating myself. And it's just, you can't be in reality to really have this sort of view. As what, does he think just getting rid of this is just going to suddenly make the media stop shitting all over us all the time?
So it just removes that element where neither party can play with their little fake ass bullshit. So it's actually for the benefit of people, which is one of the reasons why I first I was kind of against it. I was laughing at it, and then the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, oh, right, no, it makes a lot of sense this way.
Yeah, because your shill instincts must have kicked in. You were in reality for a second, then you're like, oh, how can I make some money? How can I become a professional critic? And how is it equal, Matt? So the critics and the media outlets, they have massive platforms. General audience goer has nothing, basically. Except for, say, the audience wanted C-score. Now that's gone. Media still have their platform, and the audiences have one less way to just voice their opinion. Oh, what? The trolls? The non-existent trolls that the media keeps saying there's tons of, yet haven't proven once.
Because that's exactly what needs to be done in order to make sure that we're getting a more fairer metric in regards to how this, you know, I should say a fairer representation. The movies get a better play. And it's not that the movies are pandering to the left here.
And no ranger, stick up kid, robbing the hood. Take the cash and crack the ass from Oak Town to Hollywood. Barry Bonds and swing the big stick. Come on, dance with daddy, go ride the dick. I'm the turn,
Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Of course they're pandering to not just the left, the far left. Most critics are at least progressive leftists. Plus, this is a social justice movie. And they remove, you know, people say sort of center left to the right. We can't say anything now, so it just gives the audience free reign, or more of a free reign, to promote a social justice warrior movie. Oh, he keeps trying to say this type of shit isn't on the left. Yes, it is, Matt. Okay? It's basically entirely on the left. The right have problems as well, but in this regard, it's exclusively left-wing such as you, Mr. Fully Progressive Social Justice Warrior moron. Stop saying it's not on the left. Of course it is.
They're literally just saying, look, you can't do this until the movie comes out. When it comes out, have at it, Haas. For right now. They're doing that for right now. That will probably eventually change because this is Rotten Tomatoes we're talking about here. So they're going to probably cuck the pressure in one way or another. And that's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah, but Rotten Tomatoes look like a bunch of cucks, so I wouldn't be surprised if they start banning people with right-wing opinions and just call them trolls and racists, like so many other sites have done. But anyway, guys, this is a precursor to MundaneMatt's really, really bad video. This is Shilling, but in his Cortez video, it would be called Ultra Shilling. Which, of course, Matt being the progressive social justice warrior that he is, it's not surprising. Like, he shills for one of Ocasio-Cortez's dumbest statements, and she has made a lot of dumb statements. So, what is up? What are you doing, man? You said you're not going to get into sort of controversies, and you just keep stepping in it. Maybe just go back to covering your, you know, game sort of content, which does so very well, doesn't it, man? But anyway, Let me know what you think of Monday Matt's opinion. Do you agree? Do you disagree? You obviously know my opinion on his, but I would like to hear yours. And just thank you to all my Patreons. I really appreciate the support, and just everyone that watches. Follow me on Twitter. I'm also trying to get my Discord, more members in there, as it's kind of like ghost town at the moment with sort of a couple of people. So if you want to come chat to me, say hello over there. But yeah, let me know what you think, guys, and I'll catch you later.